What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about my experience reading The Last PHI Hunter by Salinee Goldenberg. The initial reason why I requested a copy of the ARC from Angry Robot Books is the same reason why I read a lot of books. The cover. Except it wasn't this cover. This is the limited edition ARC that was released by Angry Robot Books. But this is the cover that's going on the finished copy. This was the cover that grabbed my attention. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got my lights on my bookshelves coordinated to match this cover. The colors are so bold and bright. They just stand out and arrest your attention. While it was the cover that initially grabbed my attention, when I went to read the book description, there was one fragment that jumped out at me, and that is ultimately what was responsible for me submitting the request to review. A stunning world with Thai demon folklore. For those of you who might be newer to the channel, folklore is one of my buzzwords when it comes to book selection. I was especially excited to read this one because it was Thai inspired, and I've never read anything Thai inspired before, so it was an exciting opportunity to learn something new, to be exposed to something I have potentially never read before. The majority of the beings that were introduced in The Last PHI Hunter shared a similarity with other creatures that I have met in other types of folklore stories, but there were a lot of new ones that I had never been exposed to before, so I really enjoyed reading about them, how they were made, how they came into being, how the different realms worked between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, how a spirit could be reborn or disappear entirely, move to a higher realm. I just eat that stuff up. To me, it felt like the author took great care with the descriptions, the explanation of the folklore, just all of the amazing world building. It was so immersive and easy for someone, a reader like me who had never read anything Thai related, would be able to pick it up, understand what was going on, and really enjoy the book. Now would be a really great time to tell y'all what this book is about. The Last PHI Hunter is a mythic fantasy about a young hunter named X. X travels the haunted lands of the kingdom, slaying demons and ghosts. This profession of being a PHI hunter, it's a very lonely job. You're often isolated from other people for weeks or months at a time. Even though X spends all of this time in solitude, he still takes great pride in what he does and his work. But he feels that something's missing, and that something he has determined is he needs to slay a true demon. He's just got to find one and kill it. This is where the readers come in. This is where we meet X. He is preparing to go out yet again to hunt this legendary demon. Before the journey can even start, it gets derailed by Arinya, a very beautiful, very dangerous, and very pregnant young woman who ends up saving X's bacon when it looks like he's about to get his ticket punched for good in a bar fight. In return for her assistance, she has but one simple request, and that is if X will escort her through the haunted forest. You know, the one that's filled with all these hungry ghosts and demons. You know the ones I'm talking about. The ones that like to eat the souls of unborn children. Yeah, those. That's exactly where she wants him to take her. What follows next? The journey is just hilarious. There's action, adventure, there's friendship, there's daring. There's a lot of times where these characters have to use their brains to get themselves out of a mess, and I just loved it. I would have to say the thing that I loved the most about The Last PHI Hunter is the world building. It was absolutely magnificent. Salinee Goldenberg not only built out a physical realm where the majority of our story takes place, there's also the ever-present, which is the realm of spirits and magic that existed between the physical world and the divas. As soon as I read about the difference in the physical realm and the ever-present, I understood the book cover, both the finished copy and the limited edition ARC copy. Within the first few pages, you're introduced to the ever-present and described what it looks like. When a hunter enters into the ever-present, it extenuates all of their senses. There's color there. Everything is beautiful. The sounds of the physical realm just melt away. And then the hunter is able to see and hear spirits and ghosts, beings of that sort. And so when X comes out of the ever-present, this is what the world looks like to him. It's dull, it's gray, it's boring. And I just thought that was so cool that Angry Robot did that between the two book covers. I enjoyed the character of X a whole lot. I liked the gradual growth and development of his character, how he was gradually broken from his shell of isolation and loneliness. I don't believe he ever realized just how alone he really was until he made a friend. Part of coming out of that shell was also coming face to face with his single-minded focus on getting that Demon Slayer badge. X's character was filled with sarcasm and humor. That really appealed to me. Our other main character, Arenya, I never really got a read on. She was a bit of an enigma to me. The way that her character read, it felt like I had picked up the second book in the series instead of the first one. Like she was a character I was supposed to already be familiar with. I didn't understand her actions and motivations for the longest time in this book, which this actually leads into what didn't work for me. And Arenya's character, most of her storyline didn't work for me. She gave off a certain vibe to me the entire book, and then all of a sudden she does a 360 and it felt so sudden, so out of character. I didn't understand it. Maybe that's because the entire book is from X's point of view and he didn't understand her either. You know, I didn't think about that until I just said that out loud. Maybe it was supposed to be that way. Why would X understand her? He has lived alone most of his life. He's been hunting spirits and demons and ghosts. Maybe that works. Maybe I need to reread that and remind myself I'm reading it from his perspective. And his perspective, he doesn't understand this girl. He doesn't understand why she does the things that she does. Okay, that may be on me, y'all. That may be on me. That may have been exactly what the author wanted to do, and it worked. I was just looking at it wrong. So maybe there wasn't something that didn't work for me. Throughout the course of the book, we get some tidbits about X's past, also Arenya's past, the past of this kingdom. Those tidbits weren't enough. I wanted more of that history. I would have loved to have known what this kingdom was like before the king outlawed black magic. The rebellion that occurred against the crown, new magic was created. When the hunters were valued and respected members of society, instead they're pretty much forgotten about. It's considered a dying profession. That's why the book is called The Last Phi Hunter. They think that X is going to be the last one to want to join the Phi Hunter Order. Something I've always said is that if an author leaves me wanting more, that's a good indicator that I enjoyed myself, which I absolutely did. It's also an opportunity that Salinee Goldenberg could go back and build on this world more. There are so many avenues that Goldenberg could take to write a prequel. We could do a collection of short stories, read about more adventures from all of the characters that we came in contact during the course of this book. I would love that. Or gosh, I would even love a prequel about the hunters, how their order was established, more information on their rituals to becoming a hunter, like making the mask, getting their hunter's name. There's so much here that this author could go back and build on this world. I'm excited. I hope that she does. I will absolutely be reading it. Y'all, I really enjoyed this book. I think you might would too, especially those of you who have been reading and loving the series Shadow of a Leviathan by Robert Jackson Bennett. The Gale Song series by Shauna Lawless. Another one is Needle and Leaf by Andrew D. Meredith. If you have read and enjoyed any of those three series, this is one I think you would really have a good time with as well. It's full of fascinating mythology, just a gorgeous exploration of both a physical and spiritual world while delighting readers with humor, action, adventure, and friendship. Friends, that is going to do it for me today. Those are my thoughts, opinions about The Last Phi Hunter by Salinee Goldenberg, published by Angry Robot Books. This book is available for purchase anywhere books are sold. Of course, I will have links in the description box down below. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.